Are you a medical student who wants to join UK's internship, which is called United Kingdom Foundation Program? Do you want to know the entire process of how to apply for it, what exams to take, when all the exams will happen, and the entire process of application, taking the exam, the cost and everything? We got you covered. Hi, my name is Ibrahim. I work as an internal medicine trainee in the NHS, and in this video we are going to cover the process of eligibility application for United Kingdom Foundation Program. For medical graduates who graduated outside of a UK medical school, and in some other cases, a special process called eligibility application has to be made in order to join the whole application process. So the national application process for United Kingdom Foundation Program starts around in October for the training period of the next year, August, but the eligibility application for a specific few types of medical graduates starts around this time, July and August. This year's eligibility application window will open in 14th of July until 4th of August. So during that time, you have to make your eligibility application in order to be found eligible to apply in the national application window later on. And when you make this eligibility application and your application is approved, you can actually ask GMC for a PLAB seat, and they will give you preference in taking PLAB exams because you're already found eligible to apply for UKFP. We've already made a couple of videos regarding the whole process. In the process, we have explained what an United Kingdom Foundation Program is. We have explained what are the eligibility criteria in detail, and we have explained the timeline, giving a scenario example of two different types of medical graduates at two different types of graduation time and how they can proceed to the whole process of application. In another video, I've also explained what are the exams that you have to take in this process and how much it may cost you. So this video is basically mainly focused on preparing your eligibility application because that's the first step of this whole process, and this will guide you more making that eligibility application and push you forward to the next steps of taking this program. Let's get started. As I said already, this is fourth video of this entire series that we're doing. Make sure you check out the other videos in this playlist as well, UK Foundation Program. It's a complete guidance to apply for 2-year foundation program in the UK for international medical graduates. So eligibility applicant guidance. So this year's eligibility applicant guidance is published. It was published yesterday, or maybe it will be thoroughly published today. And you definitely, I cannot emphasize enough, you have to read through the entire guidance really clearly and understand what you need to do, because the entire application process, they have given you the guidance. Now, if you provide incomplete evidence, or if you don't provide the supporting documents that you need to provide, they will not come back to you and ask you to provide it, because they will take whatever you submit. It is your responsibility to know everything what you have to submit, and only then your application will be accepted and move forward. And that is why we come into the picture to give you an additional layer of guidance through this video so that you understand what you have to do. So in order to proceed forward, you have to understand that not a lot of doctors, or not majority of doctors, would be eligible to apply for this United Kingdom Foundation Program, because this is UK's medical internship and they are not taking registered doctor elsewhere in the world. They're mainly focusing on taking the fresh graduates, or even the still students who will graduate before October this year, to apply this time so that they can join the foundation program, which will start in August 2022. So the question comes, what makes you ineligible for United Kingdom Foundation Program? If you're not eligible to apply for UK if you obtain or expect to obtain full registration by the start of your UK Foundation Program. So this full registration is full GMC registration. So if you have done a period of internship in your country, which makes you eligible to apply for full GMC registration, and you have completed this internship before the start date, that is in August 2022, then you are not eligible to apply for this United Kingdom Foundation program this year, which will start next year. If you have obtained that, the other option is open for you is to apply for FY2 standalone, because the internship that you have done is accepted by GMC as an F1 equivalent, and you can obtain full GMC registration after taking PLAB exams, and then you can apply for FY2 standalone instead of applying for the whole United Kingdom Foundation program. So that's another option open for you. Another question comes, do you actually need an eligibility application? So as I said earlier in the video, if you are from a non-UK medical school, you will need to submit this eligibility application. Also, if you graduated from a UK medical school and you graduated 2 years before the start date of the UKFP training, then you'll have to submit an eligibility application. And the other thing is, if you are a non-UK national who's studying in a UK medical school at a campus outside the UK. So many UK medical schools have campus outside UK in different countries. If you're studying there, even though you're studying in a UK medical school, but if you are a non-UK or non-settled national, you have to submit an eligibility application in order to get into UKFP training. So when does the eligibility application start and what do you need for that? So as I said, 14th of July, just less than a month away, and it will end in 4th of August at 12 o'clock in the noon time. So you have a very small window to collect all the evidences that you need and to apply for eligibility. And the whole application process is online. You don't have to send anything anywhere. And the website address is oriel.nhs.uk. The whole online application process is explained in the eligibility application guidance with screenshots or where do you have to go and how do you have to submit an eligibility application. Now, the most important thing, if you're watching this video and you intend to apply for this eligibility application for UKFP, but you do not already have an English language proficiency test, that is IELTS or OET already, then unfortunately you will not be allowed to apply for this eligibility application, because you need this to apply for eligibility. And if you take this, in recent times, or if you have taken this 1 month ago, you need to get the result before 4th of August. So if you can get the result before 4th of August and have a test report form either for IELTS or OET, you can apply this year to start training in August 2022. The other thing you have to submit is a signed Dean statement, which is a latest version, is there on the UKFP website, which I will also link in the description of this video. 2022 version, you have to get it signed by your medical school dean, and then a color scan of your passport page and a photograph which can be obtained easily, and also a medical degree certificate. So there are three possibilities. Either you have obtained your decorative diploma, which you can submit. If it's not in English, then you have to get it translated and submit both. Or if you have not received your diploma, like you have graduated, you have passed your final medical exam, but you have to wait for a ceremony to happen or COVID disruption or whatever the ways are, there is a letter formatted in the eligibility application guidance in one of the appendix that you have to just copy that letter and fill in the information there and upload it while you have to submit your eligibility application. If you're still a student and you expect to pass your final medical exam before October this year, which you have to, and from July to August you have not graduated and you have not received the diploma, obviously, you can actually re-upload the Dean statement that you uploaded in this section, because the Dean statement will say that you are still a student, so you have not passed. So this will act as the proof here as well. So if you have passed your final medical exam but have not received your medical diploma, the certificate, you can copy that letter from the eligibility application guidance, fill in your personal information, get it signed by whoever's the authority is there to sign, and you can submit and upload it there. So the whole the process is 2 steps, which we're going to discuss a bit later on. But I want to touch a bit more about the English language skills. We have discussed this in the previous videos, but if you're watching this as a first video, at least you know. The English language exam, you have to pass it within the 2 years validity of it. So that means if you're starting your training in August 2022, your IELTS or OET cannot be before August 2020 because it's valid for 2 years and it has to be valid by the time you start your training. So if you're planning to start your training in August 2022, your IELTS or OET cannot be older than 3rd of August 2020. And for IELTS, the requirement is 7.5 in all modules at one sitting. And for OET, the requirement is 400 in all modules in one sitting. So you have to note that this requirement is a bit higher than getting GMC registration in general. So GMC registration requirement is a bit lower, which is 7.5 overall, but minimum 7 in all modules. And OET is grade B, which starts from 350. So, but the grading for UKFP is a bit higher. So even if you have already completed PLAB with the IELTS or OET, because for PLAB 1 booking, you needed an IELTS and OET. If you have done that, but that score is not enough as this score needs, you cannot use that IELTS or OET. You have to get a new one which have this enough score to apply for UKFP. UKFP eligibility application process, as I said, it has 2 steps. One is the online eligibility application process and uploading the supporting documents. It's basically the same online form. You have to put your information in, then there are like segments where you have to upload the documented evidence. So this application window will open in 14th of July and end in 4th of August for the training, which will start in August 2022. So online eligibility application, we have a photo of the Oriel website, how it looks. You have to make an account with an email ID and you have to go there in UK Foundation program and follow the form to fill up and apply for eligibility through that process. Now what happens after eligibility application? It's a copy of the timeline that I did in my last video when I explained about the timeline, but I want to just reiterate and reinforce the whole planning of the whole process. So as you can see, it's 2021. So in this 2021 year, the eligibility application is opening during this time, July and August. And the national application, which if you are found eligible to apply, you will be able to apply, which will open in this October-November time, which will also be via Oriel and online. And I put by June, I hope so, that you have already passed IELTS or OET with the required score that you need, and you have already gotten all the paperwork, dean statement, MBBS letters or diploma and everything ready. So when you have this ready, all the 4 headings that I said on the previous slide, if you have this ready, you can submit all of this during this eligibility application window. And the next step is waiting to hear back whether you're eligible or not. If you're found eligible, then you have to work towards getting GMC provisional registration. So you have to obtain the GMC provisional registration before May next year. So I'll walk you through it. So the latest you can take PLAB 1. You may have done PLAB 1 already and waiting for a PLAB 2 date. So in that case, things are easier for you. But if you haven't done anything so far, the latest PLAB 1 that you can take would be in November 2021. And if you have applied for UKFP eligibility, you can actually request GMC to give you priority to book PLAB 1. And that request has to be made before 31st of August 2021. So you apply for UKFP eligibility with all the paperwork that you have submitted, and UKFP will give you an email back that we have received your eligibility application. Thank you. We'll let you know whether you're eligible or not. With that application, receiving email, you can actually ask GMC that I want to book PLAB 1 before November because I applied for UKFP. So after you take PLAB 1 in November, and obviously by that time you'll know a national application will go on and you will be found eligible, and then you will be given a time to book your next exam, which is situational judgment test. This is the first window that opens in December. This can also be done online, and if you you're not able to take that during that time, you have another window which is in January next year, second SJT. So you have to take SJT, is a mandatory thing, and this PLAB exam does not play a role in your UKFP. It just gets you provisional GMC registration. But SJT exam, this point, whatever you score, plays a role in ranking of your foundation program. So for example, as it's a national recruitment process, the whole thing is basically will give you an entire foundation schools of the United Kingdom and ask you to rank from your top choice to no choice at all. So if you rank really high score in SJT, high score in other educational performance measures, your top choice, you will get it. So that's how the ranking thing works. So your SJT is very important to score higher to get your desired post in the whole foundation program. But PLAB isn't. PLAB is just passing the PLAB will get you provisional GMC registration, will give you the license to work as a doctor. And obviously after this is the period that you have to get your PLAB 2 exam done, because before May you have to finalize your GMC provisional registration application. After you receive GMC provisional application, by this time you will obviously receive your SJT scores and everything, and you will get an offer if you have done good enough with your all the scores. After you receive an offer, you'll have to ask them, I need a visa to work in the UK, and they will sponsor you a visa and give you a certificate of sponsorship, and then you can apply for work visa, come to the UK and start your UKFP training in August. Thank you for watching this video. That was all about a small recap of what the eligibility application looks like and the important timeline of the whole process. If you have any questions regarding the United Kingdom Foundation Program, feel free to ask in the comments below. And as always, if you have not already, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.